Come closer. Let me show you something. Something that's been growing in your darkest corners. Something that feeds on your silence. Something that's been getting stronger every time they told you to stay small. You feel it, don't you? That shift in the shadows when you are alone. That whisper in the quiet moments. That pulse under your skin when they try to break you. It's not your imagination. It's not your fear. It's your power awakening. See, they taught you wrong about shadows. Told you they were places to fear, places to avoid, places where monsters live. But they never told you the truth. You are the monster. And that's not a bad thing. Every time they pushed you down, every time they told you to be quiet, every time they said you were too much, something in your shadows grew stronger, feeding on your pain, learning from your silence, building from your rage. Look at your hands. Really look at them. In the light, they might seem ordinary, harmless, soft, but in the shadows, they've been carving steel, sharpening edges, learning how to tear down walls. Your shadows aren't empty spaces. They're training grounds. Every tear you've swallowed, it's become war paint. Every scream you've buried, it's become a battle cry. Every piece of yourself you've hidden, it's become armor. Let me show you what lives there. In those places you've been afraid to look. In those corners where you hide your teeth. In those depths where you keep your truth. It's beautiful, isn't it? This darkness you've been running from. This power you've been afraid to claim. This monster you've been trying to tame. They told you to stay in the light. To be good. To be safe. To be small. But the light, it only shows what they want to see. The shadows show who you really are, and who you are. You are not the prey they tried to make you. You are not the victim they tried to shape you into. You are not the silence they tried to force upon you. In your shadows, you are the hunter, the storm, the earthquake, the tsunami. Every time they hurt you, your shadows grew deeper. Every time they broke you, your darkness got stronger. Every time they tried to dim your light, your shadows learned to shine. Stop running from it. Stop hiding from it. Stop pretending it's not there. Your shadows are your sanctuary. Your darkness is your dawn. Your monsters are your mercy. Because in the shadows, you don't have to pretend. You don't have to smile. You don't have to make yourself smaller. In the shadows, you can bare your teeth. You can sharpen your claws. You can spread your wings. Let me show you what lives there. The strength you've been afraid to touch. The power you've been afraid to claim. The truth you've been afraid to speak. It's been waiting for you. Growing stronger with every silence. Building power with every tear. Creating weapons from every wound. Your shadows aren't your enemy. They're your army. Your arsenal. Your awakening. When they try to break you in the light, your shadows hold you together. When they try to silence you in the day, your darkness keeps your voice safe. When they try to tame you in their sight, your monsters remember how to roar. This is your inheritance. This is your power. This is your truth. Every scar they gave you, your shadows turned it into a map. Every tear they caused, your darkness turned it into an ocean. Every scream they silenced, your monsters turned it into a storm. Let me show you what lives in your shadows. Let me show you what you've been becoming. Let me show you what they created when they tried to destroy you. Because your shadows, they're not empty. They're not quiet. They're not weak. They're full of everything you've been afraid to be. Everything they told you to hide. Everything they tried to kill. And now it's time to let your shadows speak. Let your darkness dance. Let your monsters sing. Because what lives in your shadows isn't your weakness. It's your war cry. It's your weapon. It's your wings. Stop being afraid of your own depth. Stop running from your own power. Stop hiding from your own truth. Let me show you what lives in your shadows. Let me show you what you really are. Let me show you what happens when you finally embrace your darkness. Because in your shadows, you are not broken. You are not lost. You are not afraid. In your shadows, you are becoming. You are awakening. You are arising. And they should have been more careful. They should have been more afraid. They should have known. What lives in your shadows isn't their nightmare. It's your salvation. It's your strength. It's your story. And it's time to let it out. They never understood, did they? How shadows work. How darkness builds. How power grows in silent places. Every time they pushed you into corners, they were just giving you new spaces to rule. Every time they tried to dim your light, they were just teaching your shadows to glow. You know what's beautiful about shadows? They never forget. They never forgive. They never fail. They keep every secret you've ever whispered. They hold every tear you've ever hidden. They remember every promise you've ever made. And now your shadows are ready. Ready to rise. Ready to reveal. Ready to reign. Let them see what lives there. Let them witness what they created. Let them tremble at their own making. Because your shadows aren't just darkness anymore. They're destiny. Their determination. Their dominion. Every whispered no. Every swallowed scream. Every buried truth. It's all there. In your shadows. Growing. Waiting. Becoming. This is your time. This is your truth. This is your power. Let your shadows show you who you really are. Let your darkness guide you home. Let your monsters lead the way. Because what lives in your shadows isn't just survival. It's revolution. It's rebellion. It's redemption. And it's time. Time to let your shadows speak. Time to let your darkness shine. Time to let your monsters dance. This is your kingdom. This is your crown. This is your conquest. Welcome to your shadows. Welcome to your strength. Welcome to your story. The one they never thought you'd dare to tell. The one they never thought you'd dare to live. The one they never thought you'd dare to become. But here you are, rising, ruling, reigning. In the shadows where they thought they buried you, you built an empire instead.